I'm Autumn Bensett, founder of the Bossy Babe brand, fitness coach, and serial entrepreneur turned intuitive life and business coach. The Wealthy Babe podcast is for the ambitious, courageous, and spiritually charged up woman in network marketing, craving wealth not only in her bank account, but in every aspect of her life. Get plugged in here each week for authentic and unfiltered conversations from myself and industry leaders who are going to support you and give you all the juicy behind the scenes and real talk around business, spirituality, strong points of view, and doing shit differently. This is a safe space to come undone, be heard, and be given permission to rewrite your own damn rules. So here we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Wealthy Babe podcast. Before I dive in, what I wanted to share with you guys is that I actually did a free training inside of the Bossy Babe Club, which is my free community on Facebook if you're not already a part of it. And it is for the network marketer, the online entrepreneur who is really wanting to evolve, step into their next level container, and really connect, collaborate, and build with other women. And so this is a really safe place where I will do exclusive trainings or exclusive lives or challenges. It's a space of transformation. It's a space of collaboration. It is a space of connection. And ultimately, I want this to be your home. So I did a free live training in there last week, and it was all about becoming wealthy and about having a wealthy mindset. So I called it the Wealthy as Fuck series, and it is actually live and ready to download, ready to watch inside of the Freebie library. So if you are not a part of the Freebie library yet and you don't have access, and you have no idea where the heck it is, I'm going to drop access to it in the description of the show notes of this episode. So then you guys can find it, you can access it, and you can get your hands on all the goodies inside of there. So anyways, you guys, I want to jump into this episode. I'm really hoping this can be a quickie, just to give you guys some love and inspiration. I asked inside of the Bossy Babe Club, my free community, about any questions that any of you guys had, because I truly want to serve you. This podcast is, yes, a part of my soul. It's an extension of me, but at the same time, I'm doing this for you guys. I want to make sure this is a place where you guys want to hang out. It's somewhere that you guys are excited to be. It's something that is actually serving you and giving you the guidance that you're looking for. So I always want to be making sure that whether it's through Instagram or Facebook or the community, that I'm asking what you guys want to hear more of, so then I can cater this to you. So I did have one of my dear friends, and I'm just going to shout out her Instagram handle here. So if you want to check her out, you absolutely can. I feature anybody who shares a question or a topic with me that they want covered here on the podcast. I share their handle just so then, I honor them and I thank them for, bringing this information to me so then I can serve you guys better. So her handle is at I am hypeful on Instagram. And so you can go check her out. Her name's Sarah, and I just freaking adore her. And so what she wanted to talk about today and what she wanted me to cover was feeling the fear essentially and failing forward anyways with courage and grace. And I get this, and so I want to chat about this. I want to chat about fear because it exists in all of us. And more women than not ultimately let it keep them from their next level. And fear is such a real thing that we all feel. It is something that we all have gone through. It is something that we have all experienced. And I just love this topic. I think it's so freaking powerful. And so I want to jam out on it in a second, okay? Let's do it. So here's the thing, you guys, is at a certain point, you had felt fear, right? You felt fear and it didn't feel good. And in that moment when it didn't feel good, even if every single damn thing turned out fine, right? You're still here, you're still breathing, no matter, because it probably happened when you were a kid. Maybe you were in school and you were asked to present to the class or something for the first time ever, and it made you feel very fearful. It didn't feel good. And so in this moment, you started to tell yourself, this is something I don't ever want to feel again. Okay. You told yourself, I'm not going to do this. I will never feel this way again. This doesn't feel good. I don't like being here. And the truth is, though, everything turned out fine, right? You're here, you're alive, you're breathing, everything is okay. You made it through. But at a very young age, we decided this is a feeling we don't want any more of. And it stops us from moving through in so many other areas of our life now. right? And so what I want to share is that, fear is not here to stop you. Fear is not here to keep you stuck. Fear is a guide, right? That's what it's here for. It's a compass to what your next best step is. I have felt fear so many times in my journey. I mean, in life in general, but, in entrepreneurship specifically. And anytime I felt really fucking scared, whether it was the very first business that I ever jumped into and I launched, if it was dropping out of university, if it was quitting my job and walking out of there and knowing that I damn well would never, ever walk back in to work for someone else ever again, no matter what it fucking took. If it was when we didn't have any money and we lost our lease and everything got terminated on us, if it was the first course that I ever launched, if it was the first consult that I ever charged for, if it was the first program I ever ran, my very first client that I ever signed on, my first ever podcast interview, the first coach that I ever hired, the very first course that I ever took and invested in, this pregnancy and journey as becoming a mom, my relationship and leaping into this and trusting in this space, traveling to Florida for the very first time without Derek and not having him there with me. And yes, I did go with my mom because I was about 14 weeks pregnant at the time, 12 to 13 weeks pregnant at the time. So she didn't want me going on my very first solo trip alone, pregnant. So, love you, Mom. But, that was my very first trip that I had ever been without Derek. And that was a really big deal because he was my safe space. Or, maybe it was hiring my first VA. It was investing in at a high level with my coach. And if I haven't talked about this yet, this is definitely a story that I'm going to tell more about. But I did tell a little bit about it in the Wealthy as Fuck challenge that I had ran. So it is in those videos. If you go and check them on the Freebie library, I did tell more about that in there. And this weekend too, I just bought my very first vehicle. This is a very, very big thing. I just crossed off my vision board and off my vision, my vision list. My vision board this weekend is, ever since I was 16, ever since I first started driving, I had this dream to obviously buy my own vehicle. I think that's something that we probably all dream of and aspire to do. And I had my very first car at 16 that my dad had purchased for me, and I bless his heart, he's the most amazing father in the whole world. And I can't be more grateful for him doing that for me. And when I went into my first year in university 8 years ago, so in 2010, he actually traded in for a 2005 Chevy Blazer, which is still in wonderful condition. It was in wonderful condition at the time, but we have really crazy-ass winters here in Saskatchewan, and so he wanted to make sure that I could get across the city no matter what and be safe. And so we traded it in, but it is a two-door. And so I have been driving around this beastie vehicle, which has been amazing, and I love it so much, for the past 8 years of my life. And I have had on my vision board this white SUV since the beginning of January. And it's, essentially I haven't been paying anything or investing anything into this vehicle because it was paid out. And my parents had taken on the plates for such a long period of time and the insurance. And one of my goals had been to take this back from them and to lessen that financial burden on them, take this back from me, and invest in this vehicle for myself. And this was something that I had on my vision board. It's on my phone, a white SUV since January when I made this vision board. And it was truly, truly something that I really wanted to accomplish and do. And as my business has started to expand and to excel and to have this exponential growth for the past however many months now, I just knew it was time. We have a baby on the way and a two-door vehicle with subs, not a lot of room in the very back of the trunk. It's just not practical anymore. And so I decided, I'm going to close this chapter. And that was scary. There was a lot of fear there. It's, I'm buying my very first vehicle. I bought a 2018 white SUV Toyota RAV4. It is absolutely beautiful, and it is just everything that I've ever wanted. It's just, I drove it right out of the freaking showroom, and it's just still surreal to even think about, but I did it. And I was, scared shitless going into this whole thing, having to test drive and, just having to do the damn thing. It's not an easy decision, and it's not an easy feat to go and take on such a massive commitment financially and just responsibility wise. And so it was just a really incredible opportunity. And Of course I felt fear. Of course I did. I had fear when I launched this podcast for the first time, you guys. But at the end of the day, all of this shit here, all this fear is here to serve you, and it was there to serve me, right? So now, what if I never walked through that fear? Where would I be? Where would my family be? Right? Where would the women I serve be? Where would you guys who listen to this podcast be if I didn't do the things, if I didn't walk through the fear, if I didn't trust and surrender and just do the damn thing and know that I was going to be okay? Even if I had fear, even if I didn't know how it was all going to turn out, what would happen? Where would you guys be? Where would I be? I have no idea, but I know that because I took the leaps that I did, my family, myself, and my business are in a completely different and the most incredible place that has ever been. And yes, there was a lot of scary times. Yes, there was times where there was more month than money. And yes, there were times when there was no guarantee and it was all scary and difficult and hard. But where would I have been if I let that hold me back, right? When we are in fear, it's about us, right? We're making it about us. But when we're in faith, we are in service. We are making it about the people that we are helping and the people that we are here and put on this planet to serve and to help. At every single level, fear is going to exist. So it's not about what you do. It's about who you are and who you are willing to be. You are in fear because you don't have validation that it's all going to work out, right? You're not confident yet that the results are going to happen on the other side of it because you've just never experienced it before. You do not have this validation or guarantee that everything is going to turn out the way that you want it to. But the thing is that confidence comes from results. So first you have to be really, really brave, okay? You have to be brave enough to take the action, to walk through the fear, to quit the job, to set the boundary, to leap. You have to be able to be so freaking brave that you can do the thing that you got to do to get to where it is that you got to go. And then you're going to see results. Okay, then you'll see it all worked out and you're okay. And then you're going to be confident, and that fear will shift from where you are right now to what you're going to take on next. I mean, I know that people, whenever they're about to invest in, say, coaching with me, they're first nervous about reaching out. Then they're nervous about the investment. And then once they made the investment, they're like, okay, now I'm really scared about showing up and being consistent. Now I'm really scared about what action I'm going to have to take next and who I'm going to become. That fear doesn't go away, you guys. It just shifts from one thing to the next. But what I want you to know is that you cannot freaking fail, okay? You cannot fail. You can only be directed to what is for you or move away from what isn't for you. But failure is so impossible, right? Fear is impossible unless you stay in that fear and you don't move your feet at all. So walk with fear. Okay, I see you, I feel you, I receive you, I move through you, and I choose again. Write that down, utilize that, stare fear in the face every single time. I see you, I feel you, I receive you, I move through you, and I choose again. Fear will never not exist, you guys. It's never, there's never going to be a day where it's just not here. So don't run from it. Learn who you need to be to walk with it. Feel the fear and do it anyway, because at the end, you guys, all we have are the moments to look back on. So what do you want your highlight reel to project back at you? What do you want your story to be? What do you want this to look back in hindsight? Do you want to tell the story about all the times you didn't leap and you stayed in fear and you didn't actually do the thing that you wanted to do? Or do you want to talk and have the story and share all about all the things that you did and all the fear you walked through, even though it was scary, but you did the damn thing? What do you want your story to be when you're looking back on that highlight reel in hindsight? So anyways, you guys, I love you so freaking much. I hope this episode was helpful and powerful for you. As always, please leave a 5-star review on the podcast and let me know who you would love to hear more of. If there's any topics that you would like featured, I would love to feature you on here as well. But other than that, you guys, make sure you go download the Freebie library and just know that I love you so freaking much. I'm cheering you on. I'm supporting you. I'm holding all the space for you. And I freaking adore you, and I appreciate every single one of you who download, listen to these episodes, and are a part of this community, this tribe, and this vision with me. So you guys, I love you so much, and I hope you have the most incredible day, and I will see you in the next episode.